What is equitable distribution in divorce cases? Imagine sorting through a big box of belongings after a long marriage. You want to make sure everything is divided fairly, but not necessarily split exactly in half. That's what equitable distribution is all about. It's a legal way many states use to divide property and debts during a divorce. Instead of just splitting everything down the middle, the goal is to be fair based on each spouse's situation. This process includes all property, money, and debts acquired during the marriage up until the day of separation. It covers real estate, savings accounts, retirement funds, personal belongings, and even debts like credit cards or loans. But assets owned before marriage or inherited assets are usually not included unless they have been mixed with marital property. For example, if you inherited money and used it to buy a house during the marriage, that might be considered marital property. The key thing to remember is that equitable distribution is not always equal. Courts look at many factors to decide what's fair. They consider how long the marriage lasted, each spouse's income and earning potential, and what each person contributed to the marriage. This includes not just financial contributions, but also homemaking and supporting the other's career. If one spouse stayed home to raise children or support the other's job, that is taken into account. Courts also look at each spouse's economic circumstances after the divorce and whether there was any misconduct during the marriage. Sometimes, if one spouse wasted money or hid assets, that can influence the division. The division can be settled by a judge or through agreements between spouses. If they cannot agree, the court will decide how to split assets, which might include selling property and dividing the proceeds or assigning specific assets to each person. A common mistake in this process is forgetting to list all assets and debts. Overlooking something like a retirement account or a property in another state can lead to unfair results. It's important to keep detailed records of everything owned or owed during the marriage. Another mistake is confusing non-marital property with marital property. For example, gifts or inheritances are usually separate, but if they were used to buy a house or combined with marital funds, they might become part of the marital estate. Knowing your state's specific laws is also essential. Some states follow different rules for dividing property, so understanding those rules helps set realistic expectations. It's wise to seek legal advice early on, especially if you have complex assets or debts. Thinking ahead about future financial needs, like post-divorce income or health care, can also impact how property is divided. In the end, understanding equitable distribution helps you prepare for what to expect and avoid costly mistakes. Being organized, informed, and proactive can make the process smoother and ensure a fair outcome for both parties.